Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this Prussian series. I don't know why I said this Prussian series, but this is the one and only Prussian series of CK2 here on the Lord Master channel. Sometimes I gotta improvise. Now, anyways, here's the situation. We were able to make the easternmost extension all the way to Rezev, which is a holy site to one of the holy sites of the Baltic faith, I should say. Just pronouns, pal. Now, there is one more holy site that we must acquire for the Prussian nation, and that's down there in Kiev. It may look far away from here, but not to me, because we have plans to subjugate the only other independent Baltic nation left. So we plan on subjugating them, and then we will fight them, which is a vassal of the Grand Duchy of Polotsk, to conquer this county, and then 2 years later, conquest of Kiev, which that area is currently held by nomadic tribes of the Pecheneg origin, which they may look weak right now, but don't underestimate them, because you may never know that some of these guys could be members of the Eagle Warriors, like this one. It's like, yes, they're a small nomadic nation, but they fight hard. So we'll be in position here in Western Juk. And also, I don't know why I still have control of this county, but however, that's where the beloved grandmother passed away here, and that's for monthly piety gain. And piety is what's kind of needed these days. So don't start the war right now until the retinue is in position and fully reinforced. And also a few more things while we pass that time. The appointed domain overseer, since I can't watch over all of the domains, so need to find who's good for the option. Not him. Maybe him. Gee, I don't know. I mean, you're ambitious, so you could probably get things done, so I'm just not sure about this, but because I need somebody who's good all around. Whereas he's no good. Doing overseer cool down after I say, like, if I say none of the candidates impress me, then what to wait for you. So you're gonna need to appoint somebody. So I choose the shaman. You better do good. And also, since I still have that Karazic focus, and I'm a bit of a Karaza, so I know you and I have issues, but would you like to take it part of a private peace in the future? Took another piece of territory that was here. Alright, this should be fun. Also, keep in mind, my brothers are dead. One was slain by me who challenged their right to rule, while the other one committed suicide while he was leading troops on a campaign against the Rus, but I don't know what drove him to suicide, but it wasn't depression. And he was so young too, at 16. I was either, oh, I don't know. Maybe there is an indication where he would got a PTSD related event, you know, the wounds within. And he chose suicide. You think that's what may have happened? The horrors of war got to him? Is that what might have happened? Maybe. This is why we said only the strong shall rule the Prussian tribes. And that is Kunkite the Brute, King of Prussia and Livonia. Now we have a military debate in the council. You know, you've picked the wrong person to debate with. But what would I choose? Because I would debate it aggressively. The positives is cruel and brave, ambitious. I am all of that. Yes. Well, it's positive for you to be zealous, but I ain't zealous. But I think I have a much better chance of winning here. Craven is negative. Yeah, I'll go for it. Eyes locked. Faced my opponent by bashing his arguments and immediately passing the counterattack. The discussion bordered on a contemptuous and many political barbs were traded between us. I will press it for the win. The discussion lasted for a long time as my chancellor attacked my argument while I kept doing the same. In the council. In the end, using some guile and quickness of mine, I prevailed. With a smart smile on my face, I faced everyone. My political prowess knows no equal. All I could say is, hey, you lost. Guess what? Well, knowing that we have a priority of pagan reformation for the future. After all, you're a priestess, so I'm not asking for gold. I shall ask for piety, which is not guaranteed. Insider payment favor piety, different aspects of the decision. Number of my virtues, I am not just nor honest. But, what's the piety? So we shall hear that answer in a few. I am sure that if I use the influence I hold over my tribes to increase their standing, Queen Adva will come to appreciate me more. Oh, I don't think it's a good idea. Plus, I have her on a private feast. We can improve the relations between us a little bit more better. Holy word was spread. The priestess saw the merits of my request and proceeded to address my spiritual concerns with religious authorities and granted their blessings upon my soul. An important holy blessing. Thank you very much. A tutor. One day during the leisure afternoon, one of my courtiers offers to spend the time to teach me a particular subject. What do I want to know? Well, you're the wisest of us all, so... Teach me about philosophy. A chance for my character to improve, or else that depends on his learning and his traits. I mean, I'm not any of these, but I am patient. I ain't cynical, but... So, do teach me about philosophy. This will be last until November, so hopefully we'll learn something by then. They've successfully subjugated the area. So when we fight them in a future subjugation war, well, we'll get that too. Took Peskov. We'll work at our own pace. When is the feast coming up? This April. Here we go. exceptional year for wheat field. Yeah, we were. You held it against me because of ducked you, and I pushed you too hard while educating you. Siege Master. Don't we have a Siege Master? No, we do not. Kind of want to invite your mother. Well, actually, no, because it's already married. I'm a dedicated carouser. See, I just needed that to get the diplomacy up a little. But now let's hold the Uzgavenes festival. You know what that is? We'll just hold this one festival before we go to war. Which would be an easy one in my book. Let us drink together. Did that too, just to improve relations with everybody here. See? 100 piety. That's what I need. Quick-minded. Delicate. How much? The forced vassalization, that's 1,000 prestige. Subjugating him is 200 prestige spent. But the council wants none of it. There are other wars that are more important. Is that so? Seems we have some disagreements. What I need is more loyalists. The problem is, you're all glory hounds, despite the fact that you are really behind me. So you're being replaced just for that. There. Just one switch, then remember, after subjugation, then the conquest, and then 2 years after it, conquest of Kiev. And we will expand no more and hold on to the borders that we have as long as we shall live. That's our priority here. No matter who we're up against. Formidable fighter, raider, and all that. He's going to make them a tributary state. Clearly, they are influencing it. And may we hope that we have a child one day. And also, by the way, once we're done with subjugating this, conquest that, and then conquest of Kiev, I am going to hold a great travel festival as a great celebration and prosperity and all. That's what I envision. Yes, till September 5th. Remember that date. On September, switch to family focus. And if I don't get the child by the time I turn 40, I'm going to get desperate, or I will get a concubines of whoever I see. So let's start. They're not going to resist much. There's their retinue. So I'm going in. Time for you to repay that favor. Ask for piety. May you send me your blessings, just like the priestess. Capture the High Chief. If we capture him, we win. Only 25 fighters. Thank you. Do you hear that? I've become a respected commander. You know what? Let's terrorize this army to make sure that they don't get together. That's my cousin. Really? And he was building a new temple. Okay, you know what? Since he's in the middle of that, don't sacrifice him. He's building a temple in the name of our faith. Leave him alone. Put him under house arrest. That's the one person I want to sacrifice. Because he's working for him, and they're looking to build a temple here. See? New temple construction, so do not sacrifice this man, otherwise... I mean, when a temple is built, you know, that increases the moral authority, isn't it? Temple's built. Yes. I'm glad that I did not sacrifice him as I would typically do, but... No, we change our ways. We need to be more pious. Plus, he's my cousin. Don't want to kill any more of our kin. Or anyone who's related to that, for that matter. And when the subjugation war is over, I'll let him go. Now I'm a distinguished commander. Your reputation supersedes me. I mean, I may have a short man complex, but I'm a big man at heart. Let's head to the capital now and besiege it. Aye. One last chance. Coward. Don't take too long for wars such as these. We got him. Alright, we got you. We will not sacrifice you because you are important to us. And plus, well, really, you got a new temple being constructed, and so is the new city. This place is going to be a great and grand country someday, you know. So, you are subjugated, and we hope you'll be happy at the fact that you are now subjugated. And I'll let your other man go, because he's building a temple. And not to mention he's stressed, so he needs to keep his health up. So as I said, just build a temple in the name of our religion. Till January 2. Okay, 2 years rest then. Well, actually be in position first. Take the capital, then the relevant objective. That's for the next plan of the future war. Now I'll focus on family. Increase fertility and health. Remember the ambition. I want a son. Many find it odd that a king works in the fields, but tending to the land and crops makes feel closer to Zemna, more so than any prayer. Let's take a short break. I noticed Drova approaching and greet exchange words about the harvest. It turns out she's also the follower of Zem. Well, you're rather elderly. But I guess we should just talk some more. Always nice to have a few more friends in life. Oh, heck. Do I remember you? Like, didn't you once serve in the army of Runkin? Mysterious woman warrior. Yes, that is her. Oh, that was a long time ago. She's become possessed. Ever since Runkim died, she left Prussia to be in the service with the Bulgars. Where exactly? Oh, up here. Yeah, you were great to us, but you being Master Scheme and all that kind of makes it a bit shady, but nonetheless. Well, who should I sway now? Guess we subjugated you, but it's positive now. Is an adult. Oh, 14. Prosperity faction now hostile. Oh, great. The Slavic pagan. I ought to get rid of him, but that's only if I have that law to... Actually, no. Really, full support if we want to up the high tribal organization, in which the tribal vassals now provide levies and provide with taxes, and implement a justice committee, and enables tribal focus laws and tribal obligation laws, and all that. Look, most of the tribal pagan vassals won't like that, but it would be a step closer to get to where we want. Plus, you like me well enough. Controversial move, but we'll up that tribal organization since people are really going to be behind it. Now, anyways, Grazuta, my diviner, is intimate politely that I can learn further on a wide array of subjects and be much more efficient if I spend some time with each day taking lessons about the classical period from her. However, as I place myself in the position of a student, that is not good for my prestige. On the other hand, improving my knowledge is tempting. Well, my learning isn't that great. I'm not ruffled nor dull, so I'm willing to place the effort. This is probably going to be a bad idea. Going to be another one on the book of bad ideas. ignorance conquered. After spending my last year browsing old texts, I am able to improve my knowledge. I guess it is time to congratulate myself. It was a time well spent. Every little bit helps. Ever since I brought that wise Lithuanian over here. Well, then again, Lithuania is known for their wise philosophers. Despite the fact that they, well, you know what they are, you know. But even in modern-day Lithuania, some of the most famous Lithuanians in history are tended to be of the philosophical kind. At least that's to my knowledge. Guess that's why they called Vilnius, like modern capital of Lithuania, as the Athens of the North. Because, you know, Athens was the home of many great philosophers in ancient Greek history. And again, this series just kind of reminds me of ancient Greece a little bit, the parallels of it. Like how, like we just described Lithuanians, that they're kind of like the philosophical Greeks. Well, what does that make, you know, the Prussians? Kind of like Macedon or Sparta, whatever, with their warrior culture that they have. Except we're more sophisticated because of our source of income with this trade route, which we'll continue to invest in future. Soon we'll have a marketplace here. A marketplace, yes. Which will just add a little bit more to the trade route wealth. Court factions opposed. You know, let me see of these areas. Remember, you got till January next year for the next conquest war. Yeah, by this time, I still await for a son, since I'm gonna try to be a family man here. Yeah, that was you, making your gains. And he dreamt of a mysterious man, this High Chief. Significant improvements. It is with enthusiasm that I spent a part of my afternoons every day with my diviner in order to improve my general knowledge by studying the classics. So my improvements are good. Improving is the condition of the human being. I'm a good pupil for 5 years. Today I've stumbled upon a painting of a most wretched, hideous creature I ever laid my eyes on. This affront to nature has left me chilled to the bone. The crooked teeth, the ears, his oversized nose alone was enough to make me nauseous when a nearby courtier asked what I thought of my new portrait. That's because I'm short, right? Making fun of my height? The poor light deceived me. That nose has character. Now I took great pride in myself. Too many traits. One's gotta go. Lost my patience. The local leaders of Ormir state their complaints. I take notes and write a list to diligently address those concerns in due time. It always pays off to have a plain conversation with people with direct knowledge of the issues at hand. I might not agree with everything, but at least those who talk to me will understand their opinion matters and things get ultimately done. I value competence above all. Now, it's a serene province here. Now, Nadruvia needs to have some work. Remember, this January, we'll fight against the Rus again. The fight in a conquest war for this. Kiev is getting closer to us, but fortunately there's a revolt. One wants to install them, and the other wants to subjugate them, which... Oh, that's the High Chief of Plusk, not the Grand Duchy of Plusk. Despite the fact that you've taken casualties, and I mean a lot. No longer volatile. The rebels are winning, but if he could pull that off with all these allies... Oh no, he's actually intervening. You misread. Because he's subjugating for this little area, which is a tributary state, so that's why. Got his hands full. As a reminder, not much resources in the lands that I personally control. I aim to change that one day. A lively place where one can find even basically the most sophisticated wares and services. Looks like your plan just got backfired. Start. Actually, we'll get a jump on him. Movement will be in Minsk on the 4th of February. Lately, it's become apparent that my spouse is trying to manipulate me and assume control over more and more matters about the management of my realm. Well, everything might be just a wrong impression, but she seems to be in the league with one of the counselors, Chief Luckiest of Braslaw, and the pair can hinder my own capabilities of running my domains. What's the matter with you? I could try to ask him to curb my spouse's ambition. But probably my spouse pursuing me, I mean, I'm not paranoid. Stats of my intrigue is 50. And all the following traits in the stats of my spouse. I mean, she is deceitful, but intrigue is a bit up there. She's not ambitious. Factors influencing this. Oh, no, you've written that. That's the way you're supposed to look. Damn it. So yes, the intrigue, she is deceitful, not ambitious. She's not any of these. The counselor's traits, however, the one I'm asking him to put a stop to it, he is not honest, nor craven, not even content, not patient, not intemperate, but he is kind. Well, I'm gonna try to curb spouse ambition. I wouldn't want her to manipulate me. February 3rd, start the war. Conquest of a... also being replaced. Hey, we got our own siege leader here. Oh dear, that big high chiefdom up there. He ain't doing anything, but he's rather weak right now. Plus he's an old man. We should be alright, and don't worry about interference in the north. So all you need to do is take this capital, then move down this way to take the objective. He's right over there. Capture him all you can. I was walking by when I saw an owl. I paused for a moment to observe it, but the creature dared launch itself at me, clawing at my face on. My guards everything scared off, but the damage was done. What did I ever do to deserve that? Get him! Now, just take the capital. Determined refusal. After I approached Chief Teclis of Prussia, asking for his help covering my spouse ambition, I was surprised to learn that my suggestion was answered with a despising negative. Without his support, as my others was indeed scheming against me, I could not help but face a hold the door as a the bastard. Manipulative spouse. Not good. That's gonna last for 5 years. But it's not a total disaster. But it is for the domain size, so I would up the centralization, but just wait a few. There is a way to get rid of manipulative spouse. You have to divorce her. Despite the fact that she's my friend, just give her a chance. See? Give her a chance. She can manipulate me, but ultimately, you are to bear my future child. And pray to Zemna and to son. With my wife pregnant, I'm starting to worry I shouldn't organize something special this year's harvest right. Pleasing Zemna could be instrumental to ensure a birth of a healthy child. Because you know what the last two were like. I will dedicate the entire festival to my wife's certainly having her fun taking on the role of Zemna. Everybody seems to like her, and she's wasted no time holding all the food offerings made to the goddess for herself. I'm sure this will help deliver her child. What are the odds? Rival? Domain too big, Livonia? High trouble organization? Okay. We'll have to do something about that domain size in the future. Religious difference. Oh, yes. You're the Baltic. You're the Uralic, I should say. You know, we could just get rid of them. And in its place, we'll install a Baltic man there. Maybe you. Let's do that. Get him out of the way. I don't want no malcontents. Put you there instead. And we'll do something about that domain size sooner or later. So, with my wife being trained as a cleric, let's take it upon herself to treat with the priest to gather support for my role. So far, it seems to be working rather well. Everything she said garnered our attention, and a few contributed rare tomes to the council's libraries. Excellent. Blast it. Damn it. Okay. Now take the relevant objective. The Magyar migration. Facing enemies from all sides in the former homeland of the East, the pagan Magyar clans have gathered their people into a single terrifying horde and has crossed the Carpathian Mountains to resettle in the plains. Many rulers are already nervous what the appearance of this horde means. Whether these renowned warriors will begin raiding further west than ever before, or whether their strength will be broken in the hands of some stronger enemy willing to challenge them. I see. They made their way in there. Oh my. They used to live over there, but they moved over there, so good for us, I say. They don't bother us, we don't bother you. Good. It's a good tradition to have some gossips around a pregnant woman in order to keep her calm and distract from the tribulation this delicate time of her life. As Adva's husband, it's my duty to provide her with the support she needs. I will have some maids dispatched. Dragon Chief this Amalian chains. Caught this apostate in the act of reading heraldic scripture. Here in praise to Vilnius. What should be done of her? Well, burn the apostate. I'll get a little piety. Every little bit helps. Died of gluttony. You know that's unhealthy, right? She wouldn't want me to cry. Let's drink in her honor. I probably had one drink too many when I'm enjoying a table by an equally intoxicated woman. It takes a few minutes to realize that surely must be Ramune, another old friend of Druva's. Spent some time reminiscing about our old comrade. She's my friend now. We better deal with them soon. They've expanded more towards up here. Entering into Estonian lands. Treasury caravan exalted. We received news that the caravan transporting the Taxo and Total Pits was assaulted by a group of rebels there. I must remind myself that the province is not safe as a lake. Still, the building must be addressed. I have personal control of that domain, but rebellion. Somebody's gonna have a responsibility. Should there be a peasant revolt coming from over there? Oh, no, no, no! Another sickly child. Clearly there is something wrong with me. Am I cursed? Just thinking. Because you know how the list of Prussian names go. We don't even have a court position. Oh dear. You know, some of these people aren't really professionals at this sort of thing. Plus, I'm still in the process of naming. Guess the old wise man has passed, yes. He would have been excellent at this. Gerutis. Again, that's the one I decided, because it took me a while to think of it, because I can pronounce Prussian names in my head, but I'm trying to find at least a sounding, a name that sounds, that makes it less funny to me. Terse pronunciation, so please save my son. Made you a court position. I'm happy that I have a son, but I am concerned. I'm really concerned. Become distinguished among the nobility. That's something I could do. Damn, these guys are fast. Oh! That means I'll lose another child in future. Give me another. Miserable. Food poisoning. You think this has something to do with the recent pregnancy that she came out sick? The Order of Saint Anthony. The Knights of Saint Anthony comes from one of the oldest chivalric orders in the world. In 370, disciples of Anthony the Hermit founded the Order of Saint Anthony under the patronage of the Emperor of Ethiopia. Though they kept a low profile for many centuries, the Holy Order is now resurfaced as a powerful force. The stated purpose is to protect Coptic Christians from all those who seek them harm, and purge the lands of infidels and heretics wherever they may be found. Saint who? You're getting sacrificed for this. See how they organize the trades? Is that why you move so fast? No, but be careful. Just assault. We're angry as heck. Just hang on. Move in. It's our chance to marvel. Oh well. Heir to the High Chiefdom. Not anymore, he ain't. Just resist the foul impulses. Why do the gods forsaken me? Can't seem to please anyone these days. This one do not assault because that's been attacked before. We're about to reach war's end. Just improve it, just to get it over with. Happy that we took over another area, but I'm not happy at the fact that I've lost yet another child. I have no idea what's happened to me. Stop manipulating me. You know what, you'll be governing these two areas. Oh, maybe except for that because of the importance of the significance. You shall have that. And Brooch will be yours. You're gonna be a bit of a troublemaker. Let me transfer vassalage to you. He's your problem now. As I said before, you got 2 years. Speaking of which, also in these 2 years, that's when we'll launch our next war to fight against the nomads to take Kiev. We are very close to achieving that. You know, these days that that the loss of the children due to sickliness has ruined my pride. Someone is asking me for recommendations for good reading. By coincidence, yesterday I was just finished reading a wonderful book. I enjoyed it greatly. Recommend to a lot of people. Specifically, the story is a sappy, dramatic romance about true love. I recently read a romance novel. Need to get the fertility up, you know, 2 of us. But you have the blessing of Zemna. And please be careful with the gluttony. Oh dear. Oh dear. I have thought it over. I cannot be the father of my wife I was baby. I was out on the campaign during the last few months. So as it grows a bit, I have trouble sleeping. I must put this matter to rest. Hire someone to find out. Paranoid. It's probably one of those hostile vassals of mine. And I know a few guys who have the seduction focus. You'll get what you want, even though you're only gluttonous, but at least you'll be well fed. Who did it? I hired to gain my wife's house has not found anything at all suspicious about a pregnancy. Well, hire more spies. There's a guy who does the seduction focus out there. Somewhere from within, I know it. I remembered seeing it somewhere. Was it you? At first, the signs were small, easily dismissed as coincidences, and now becoming too frequent to be ignored. The omens surrounding my wife's pregnancy are terrible. I am sure I am misinterpreting the signs. If it is indeed true, then clearly there's something going on here. My overseer stands in front of me with plans to perform a military operation in one of my restless provinces. As I hear the whole plan, it's made clear that our men will engage the rebel groups across the province, take advantage of our cavalry to strategically strike at several points. I look at the map, my hands clasped at my back, thinking about the final word for this mission. Go ahead and provide additional funds. The secret is special mission. Best of luck to you. Spies I hired at great expense to discover anything suspicious about my wife. During her pregnancy, failed to turn up anything at all. I guess the child must be mine then. So, suspected adultery. On my part. You got till February, so we got 1 year. No more restlessness. It's serene here, but now put a focus on over there. Mission failure. My light troops are bogged down by enemy guerrillas who performed successful hit-and-run attacks. My light cavalry suffered heavy losses to its mounts, as the rebels made a point of targeting the horses, dismounting their riders, and turned to our biggest advantage, the cavalry, into more foot soldiers. So much gold expended. Things are just not going in my way in my personal life, isn't it? It's occurred to me that my wife's feeling somewhat gloomy as of late. The birth of her unborn child is causing some hormone balance as affecting her mood. I will buy her something nice for once in my life. 1 month. No, 1 year. You got 1 year. Well, I give you more autonomy, but now you've taken more territory. At least that connects them more. Prussia has been slowly expanding. Not a lot going to want to subjugate the whole damn thing, which would even let us to entering into Finnish territory. There are many legends about the great man whose blood I share. A particular story has been circulated at court lately. It focuses on an epic feat where Rundkin proves his strength of character. The more I hear, the more I wish to emulate him. I shall strive to be more like him. I wanted to be patient just like him. I lost my patience, but let's hope I regain that permanently. Patalene asked for knowledge of me. Yeah, I brought you here, but I just felt like you can't be the physician. But, says my lord, a vision of Lima came to me and commanded I build a temple in Gilmo. I will need your help, however, for uncertain I can complete this grand project of my own. How much? For the piety. Take this and my blessing. That reminds me. Weren't you supposed to build a temple in Belsk? Or Brest, or whatever it was? They're still under construction. That's a daughter. Barisla. Yeah, just trying to be nice to him while at the same time we're gonna assassinate him. Oh, no need for that. I hear you're turning down duels. Oh, a woman sounds behind me, spinning around. I'm no longer brave. That's what I've lost recently. So, I find myself talking to my fellow member of the band of Medina Darta. The band of Medina are aware, of course, she says, putting an arm over my shoulder. She continues, I could help you. You just need a little guidance, my good man. They call you Red Cheeks because you were humiliated in a game of fighting. I'm open for suggestions. What do you have in mind? I'd like to get bravery back. to have us go in the woods. We're supposed to spend several nights living off the land, she said. I am the king. I live comfortably in my fortress, thank you, I responded. The next couple of days were a frightening drudge of unsettling rustling in the trees, cold, and food poisoning. Oh no! This is her fault. Hope we better get rid of Craven. The High Chief of Livonia will die by poison wine at the upcoming banquet. He has no heirs, does he? No, he does not. No, he does not. When he dies, I'll give the High Chieftain to him. Hold on. Phew. Oh, excuse me. Allergies again. That's what I get for living off the land. But hey, healthy daughter for once. Damn. Keep trying. Want to get rid of him before, a man like him, he's going to seduce my wife one day. If we don't get rid of him. Otherwise, there's going to be big problems. And the fight against these nomads, it's going to be a challenge. This one in a white pit. He just died. Died under special circumstances. Kiev is a free state. Excellent. With no one to interfere. Plus, Kiev is not even a fully Slavic area. It's a mix of Germanic and Slavic. Good. Good to know. While Hungarians will expand anywhere that they see. At least we're not going to face more of these Tengrists, otherwise the Avars would have joined and it would definitely make our campaign difficult, but fortunately, there's a peasant ruler. And the man just got assassinated. Recent succession. Petty kingdom of Kiev is now independent. There'll be no one to stop us this time. But remember, February. It'll be very easy. Just take 3 holdings. Yeah, why they are 3? Well, there are 3. And then after this, we will celebrate. Even now that the pregnancy is over, my wife's cravings for exotic foods have yet to stop. I'm starting to think she's starting to take advantage of my generosity to grow fat. I think you've had enough, dear. Hope they'll get rid of gluttonous. Now listen to my advice. In a few weeks she might be back in shape. Good for her and me. We'll be ready to pounce on him soon. The arm wrestling challenge. Spirits are high at the lodge tonight, and I am itching for a challenge. Many important warriors have gathered in a large hall to celebrate a recent hunt, giving me no shortage of capable warriors to test my strength with. Well, I'm brawny too. Even though he's brawny and tall. Oh dear. Well, am I asking for this, huh? Another tall guy? This is the normal size, but... Come on. You're the strongest ruler in the world. Just challenge the captain of the Lithuanian band, who is said to have been suffering from sore muscles. And he's also depressed. He's got a star chart and a magnifying glass. We'll magnify this. Both of us and I sit in front of the other, preparing ourselves for the game. We put our arms on the table while the third fighter holds her fist still. A crowd around us chants a disjointed countdown and cheers as we start pushing against each other. Slowly but surely, Voltas is gaining ground, inch by inch. He's pushing my fist closer towards the table. I'm starting to lose my breath. My face is red and covered in sweat, yet I still can't manage to push back at its grip. I might simply not be strong enough to win this match. Well, of course, he's a bigger man than me. But I will sneakily slide my elbow, try to increase my chance by cheating. Without thought, I slammed his fist against the table. Earning a shower of cheers from the other warriors gather around us. My opponent glares at me and mumbles something about accepted defeat. Come on, what sort of weakling are you? Come on, big man, what do you have to say about it? Nothing. Huh, not this guy again. Forget about swaying the Livonian, we're gonna get rid of him. Sway him instead. $2 months. Never mind, just for seeing that money there. Needs confidence. I need to look at these plots. Any of them involve me. Hey, don't do that. You're one of the good commanders. Fabricated king. Well, we'll get rid of you soon. There are 2 plots against me, but I can't stop them. One more. Facing my choice of opponent here. What little money they got? Deuce. Alright, we're going in. When it's February 16th, war starts. Try to poison wine again. There we go. Okay. Conquest of Kiev. They're mostly behind me, except for my Chancellor, because you know how that man is. Despite the fact that he's a fellow member of the band of men. Surprise attack. He ain't going anywhere. Hopefully we'll drag him out. Success. It seems the one did not agree with the High Chief. He died not knowing the name of his killer. I think I will celebrate with beer. Well, congratulations, Kirsten. You are the High Chief of Livonia. And that's all I gotta say about that. Who appointed a Greek there? I get he was a former tutor, but why is he around? You are asking to get kicked out here, but... However, I don't have the kind of law where I'm allowed to revoke titles because they're of a different faith. Go for tolerance. So we know there's plenty of foreigners that do live around here. I like how we only use the retinue and none of our vassal levies or any other tribal vassals have an ally with us because we're that confident. And I never thought that I would live this long to achieve this goal that my father started, even though he had never lived to see this day. But that day has come. We will take Kiev, take over its temple, and I'll be amongst the pious. We will celebrate a great tribal festival for this. That's one holding. Inherited Lithuania. Lot of Lithuania. And I inherited his wealth. Let's create the High Chiefdom of Lithuania. Because this is not an area that I want to control. I was about to say, any Lithuanians around? Vilnius, yeah. That's the I was talking about earlier. You'll be the new High Chief here. I feel the ambition to become distinguished among the nobility. And that I am. Now I still want a son. If you don't give me a son, I'm going to be desperate. What happens if we were executed? He's from an enemy country. Because he has nothing to offer. One would think it sounds like I'm on a cruel streak. We don't care who the new temple owner is, that person's gonna be out of here. We've taken that area, so they're out of here. Yeah, 2 trouble holdings unnecessary. Heck, I might give you Kiev entirely. And that's the man to hold it. But I'll keep it for myself. But beware, this is a rebellious province. Which we can reduce that. Send a marshal over. Contest the rebels. Now it's back down to restless province. And there's a migration policy. What migration? You know what? Let me see. Wait, now I first control that. I have this. Oh, what is that? Oh yeah, there are migrants here. Give that away too. A trikai. Don't want that to have in my conscience. But again, mainly Lithuanian territory. So let's see, it's 49 after successful counter conquest. temples built. Now, you cannot reform the faith at this time. You may view the tenets to choose reform faith. Reforming the Baltic faith will turn it into an organized religion unless you control the holy sites. Doing so requires 45% of religious authority and control for Baltic Holy Sites. It will cost you 1,500 piety. Reforming a religion allows the ruler to determine the nature, doctrines, and leadership of the new faith, entirely reshaping its dogma. So yes, you need this amount of piety to reform it. And it's a long way to go, but what I would prefer right now, as my birthday's coming up in 10 days, is you give me a healthy son. You know, I'm a bit craven now, but I hope I'll get over that. Because people in the Warrior Lodge would laugh at me if this. New task for you. You'll become raiders to raid this area. In the meantime, this calls for a celebration for our efforts. But first, we must worship the ancestors. I wish for prosperity and growth for my realm. May this soul serve you well in the afterlife. And now, the great tribal festival we shall hold. We'll organize a great celebration to improve my relation with my tribesmen, as well as the prosperity of my lands. A great festival is exactly what the people of Prussia needed to strengthen the bonds with their fellow tribesmen. It will also be a great opportunity for the chieftains to bring our offerings to our ancestors, bringing prosperity to our lands. Let's get started. Most of them are joining, even the children too. Hail, hero, I've heard the news of the great celebration you are preparing for your fellow tribesmen. I've wagered you join a company of fellow warriors to exchange stories with. What was a captain of Lithuania man? Oh yes, I beat you in the arm wrestling contest. Yeah. You didn't take that kindly, did you? Of course you are welcome. Everyone's welcome here. A lower rank vassal that should serve him? Who would that be? Oh yes, the Greek. Yes, he can have a vassal for a favor. I know what favor would that be exactly. No money needed. Just ask for piety. A period of festivities is about to start. All sorts of peddlers, bards, and fortune tellers are gathering in Semba, bringing their tales and offerings. I should make sure to prepare myself before traveling to meet my tribesmen. But, you know, I'm craven and all, but I want to get rid of it. Is that really a priority? Yeah, sure, I think I'll go hunting. Enjoy the countryside. Lose a bit of stewardship. It's only for about a year. Keeps me healthy. It'll prove my decision. And yes, it's too big, but it's temporary. 75. Right, okay. The celebrations have finally begun. Semba is bustling with activity. People from every corner of Prussia have traveled here to pay their respects to me and my ancestors, exchange tales and goods, and have a good time. Welcome all. Favors. You know how they're like. Let's promote a debate. Right here, right now. Military debate. Ready for round 2? Eating good food, Death's blessing. Rumor has it that Death, in the form of a young maiden, visited this character by accident in dream or vision. due to this character's bias, decided to bless them with fortune and good luck. So they say. Of course, among the living, the truth in the matter might never truly be known. Well, you're a priestess. And feverish grooming. Tries to look at her best for a special occasion. Yeah, like this great travel festival. And you want to debate about military again? Oh, oh. Oh, I still want to debate. That's just pure luck. Actually, that was against the chief. Oh, man. I debated a man who knows a lot about the military, but somehow I still pulled it off. Well, now seek your blessings. You may not like me. I'm just asking for it. An old woman suddenly jumps in the line of my sight, giving me a toothless smile and shaking a cup filled with dice. She claims that she can determine what stars have in store for me, for the right price. Here's a few coppers. That's more than a few. The fortune teller surprised me by predicting that an extraordinary opportunity is about to present itself to me in my near future. I'll need to pay close attention to find my good fortune. I always knew I was born lucky. Very important, holy blessing. Thank you. I need 1,000 more piety. You hear that sound? That means level 4 on one of the wonders of the world has just reached its stage. It's gotta be one of these two. One of these four. I think it may have been an apostolic palace. Or even a house of wisdom. Because it reached level stage 4. Because that's the sound it makes when one of them has reached stage 4. But I can't tell. Didn't know that exists. Under construction. We should build one of our own someday. I mean, what is it like if we were to build one? Great work. Like this stone circle, for example. I think I could see that happening in a reformed nation. But honestly, I think it would be much preferable to build it here, because that's where the holy site is. The Polish populations resent me as a ruler and feel that I am a foreigner. Yet I depend on these self-same people to collect my taxes and man my army. This simply will not do. I think it's time to bring some boys from back home to help out over here. So, Zersk, a formerly Polish-dominated area, has now become, it's Catholic Polish, but now it's become Old Prussian and Baltic. What the hell is that? Well, in that case, come over here. These are vassal troops. Oh, now we fall in love with her. Alright. That means more chances to have a child. Even though I'm kind of desperate right now. The poetry contest. With so many travelers and bards coming to Semba to exchange stories and enjoy the period festivities, I've come to the conclusion we should simply organize a poetry contest to see which of our guests has the sharpest tongue. You may not like my decision, but hey, I beat you in arm wrestling. I do whatever I want. I'm the king here. Size matters not. Plus, I got pretty good diplomacy. So I will join the poetry contest. Once you're in position, you raid together. is allowed? Not allowed. Okay, never mind. No, I cannot. Okay then. Fine. It's not a ret. That one is formerly retinue, so something. Now, the competition starts early in the morning. An entire crowd of bards and young proteges have already assembled by dawn in the longhouse to warm up and practice their songs. The contest has finally started, and I take my place among the other contenders, waiting for my turn as the first pro begins his performance. Let the best man win. The contest gives us the opportunity to hear many new amazing stories. Tales of love and war captivate all the people of Zambia. Unfortunately, the public does not seem to receive my own my own poetry. And the uncontested winner turns out to be Ilmi, whose epic storytelling skills managed to enthrall the entire town. Who are you? Carolean. Genius. Ah, didn't figure. Tutor. Falaraka. She has exotic perfume, and she's the queen of the harvest. Too bad you're already married. Tuh, you're not a real Baltic. Carolean. I had never heard that story. With the period of festivities nearing its end, it's time to finally burn our offerings to the old gods and pray that they'll protect us in the years to come. Long moan of silence shrouds Zambia as the smoke rises to the nightly sky. Then the shamans lead us in somber hymn, concluding the ceremony. Glory to Devas. Now go raid. As I said, I'm desperate, so you're gonna be a concubine. You're the first of many. Getting sicker. Diarrhea. That's gotta be dysentery. I recently had good fortune and made quite a few bargains. At first, it was only some nice pelts and a new sword. Today I aided my steward in striking an excellent deal that could provide regarding provisions for our soldiers. Could it be the answers guiding me? I know a good deal when I see one. Tonight the mead hall is inflamed by rumors of a great wolf wandering through the forests near Zambia. The man who spotted the beast claims is without a doubt one of his cohorts, driven mad after tasting human flesh. The older members of the lodge agree that as the Lord of Zambia, it is my duty to track down and slay this beast. Oh my goodness, this is going to be terrible. But this is a way to get rid of bravery. I could use you, both of us. But alternatively, could choose this chiefess, who calls her the Butch, not what you think it means. Or maybe him. Okay, not him. He could die during this, so. Yes, that time I beat you in arm wrestling. Still can't get over that, so I could use you. Go on a hunt to fell the great beast. Before we leave for this perilous journey to slay the monster that is menacing my subjects, I should make an offering to Nameless to make sure I am shielded from the supernatural powers of the creature. I will burn the best cattle from my stock. The time has come for us to leave the safe confines of civilization and venture forth into the dark domain of the monster plaguing my lands. With both of us in Nella's protection, I'm sure to track Down this creature and put an end to the threat it poses to my subjects once and for all. Let the hunt begin. We've looted the area. The rumors were true. The hold of the Java tribe was filled with treasure. Since I was the leader of the assault, I will take the best share of the loot to myself. I will not forget to share part of this bountiful prize with my brothers and sisters of the band, for inform me the existence of this treasure. I must return home, just to make up for it for burning the cattle. See if I can get bravery after winning this little battle before we can get out of here. But if I get really desperate, I could forge a bastard son, but that's going to cost me some piety. It's like, if I can't create one, then I'll find one. And by the way, I have a fatigue, I have a headache, and I have diarrhea, so this could be dysentery. The search for the Great Wolves brought my expedition through a deep forest. It is not long before I stumbled upon a half-eaten remains of the creature's last prey, a dismembered deer, floating in a crimson pond. I'm certain that examining this carcass will grant me insight of this terrible beast I'm trying to hunt down. I have seen worse. I can say that because I'm brawny. Just trying to be a man here. Cancer! But it's mild cancer. And you know, with cancer, that really lowers your fertility. But it's not the end of the world here. No. I think now the case is stronger to forge a bastard son. Not for the battle, okay? As long as you know what you're doing, okay? That's it. The strangest of quests. Without a successor of my bloodline, and instead bowing to despair, I decided to search for an impostor that can pose to be my bastard heir. Now it is time to decide who am I searching for. The younger the candidate, the bigger the chance of success, and the higher influence I'll have over his personality. But the younger he is, the higher the risk of an early disaster with... I will be searching for a kid. Because there's just no way I can impregnate my wife or concubines anymore now that I have cancer. But it doesn't mess with my personal combat skills. But this is a way to get rid of Craven. And I'm against one of their heroes. I can tell because bear pelt means high rank. So enter my chambers with an earthenware jar, Pharaoh's aunts came to sit in my bed. He pulled the leech from the jar and gave it the most tender look that placed it in my face. Remain still, my lord. Dare not disturb if they're feeding. Although cancer is beatable, bear in mind. If I live another 20 years while I still have mild cancer and you keep getting successful treatments every once in a while, the cancer will be on remission. It'll go away on its own. It's beatable, but I'm just not confident enough. With the lack of sons, all we got is a healthy daughter, but we're gonna go look for a kid. Where, at least, I'll still be around for a few more years so I can educate the child. Get back home. Raid this and then go. Okay. The great wolf is resting by the riverside. Its long snout red with dried up blood. Finding the beast at its weakest gives us considerable advantage against it. Yet we must also be careful not to underestimate its formidable opponent, especially now that we're so close to succeeding in our quest. It's going to be a great result no matter what, but I know exactly how to deal with it because of my hunting skills. I once went on a hunting focus, you know? We're gonna be men again, both of us. In a great wolf fights to the very end. We're so unable to corner and pierce through its hide a few times, keeping the creature at bay with our spears. We patiently wait for the bleeding to weaken and enough to strike again, and I land a final blow through the wolf's skull, pushing the creature on the ground, finally vanquished. We will burn its remains. We'll not take it as a trophy. May have to switch to theology focus, because, you know, have to become more pious now. Because there's just no way that I can have a child anymore. A legitimate child. But we'll get the child soon. But I'll be around. There's money in this. Unexpected help. As I set in motion to fabricate a mail error, in spite of my discretion, my chancellor became aware of my scheme. Damn that man, I know who he is. And offered to help by setting up a network of informers that could increase the chance to be successful. Oh, really? There's a hefty price tag to hire so many people, however. How much? Alright, fine. Seems like a great idea. Do anything. Anything. Nosy spouse. Soon after I set my plan to find a new mail emulsion, I noticed my wife started acting strangely around me. Well, I have cancer. When confronted with such peculiar behavior, she acted poorly and threw a fit, claiming she would do everything in her power to prevent me from being successful. With my private life suffering, I perceive in my quest to continue my bloodline. I will prevail in the end, so my wife is sabotaging my efforts on the back. Chances to find a fake heir are lowered. Yes, we're friends, we're lovers, but I know I've abducted you and pushed you and all that. It's a strange relationship, I know. But I must prevail. I must. The pipes of peace. As the opinion of my spouse increases in relationship to her, well, we're friend and lover. Our personal situation improves markedly. Finally, the day has arrived when my capabilities are not hindered anymore. The days of tiresome quarrels are now behind us, so this is what happens. It's like, yeah, despite the fact I'm looking for a fake heir, it's just one isolated incident between us, alright? So, mild lack of harmony is removed because of high positive opinion, and the fact that I am patient also helps. And my spouse is a lover? Yes. It was just an isolated incident. Uh-oh. Oh dear. If it's going to be a legitimate son, every one of my vassals is going to be voting for that instead of the one I'm looking for. Oh boy. But the good news is, I'll still be around. You know, for that cancer. I mean, it ain't going to kill me yet. Okay, I'll give you what you want, I'll give you what you want. Even though you're still manipulating me. Old Debs. One day I met with the chief on this. He reminded me I owe him a favor. Without idle talk, he proceeded to state his request in order for the favor to be favored. Oh, he wants gold? You got it. Because we're raiding right now. So yes, you got it. Oh, damn, that's far away from here. Damn of ours. My quest to find the others led to a dead end. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to summon anyone, even though I tried really hard. In the end, the lack of the male heir weighs over my shoulders and I feel deeply troubled. How am I going to overcome this feeling? It's for the next 3 years, this. Or I could become depressed. It was that. Characters recently suffered a significant setback in life that filled them with a sense of despair. And we cannot guarantee that this child will be a son. A healthy son. Hold your ground. They're coming after us. We could definitely hold here in the forest and the river crossing. Well, let's try to end this episode on this note before we continue the raids. They're mad as heck. Asking her to buy her some new clothes because apparently she has outgrown most of her wardrobe and now she feels frustrated not having anything nice to wear whenever she needs to make an appearance at court. You do not need new clothes, you're already wonderful. We barely defeated them. Just get all this money, and then we go next door to the theocracy of Viga. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, let's leave this at a cliffhanger here. Because we've gone long in this episode. So now, in the next episode, will Kunkite have a son? Or will he have another daughter that is either healthy or not? Because again, he can't be guaranteed that this is going to be a son. And we can't try to fake an heir until 929, which by then I would still be suffering of mild cancer, with receiving good treatments every once in a while, just to keep him around. If I do indeed get a son, I will immediately switch to theology and just live the rest of the life as a pious person in order to become more, just get more piety in order to reform the faith. All these questions are going to be answered in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.